Good evening, everyone. This is Melanie, the Scrapbook Lady, and I wanted to check in with you to talk to you about some of the products that I use regularly for scrapbooking. And I was gathering my materials, and it occurred to me, I didn't even realize this, but what I've learned is that there is a manufacturer for scrapbook materials called Recollections. This is the band that goes around the scrapbook that I use. And I'm looking at the scrapbook, and I totally, it didn't occur to me that that was the company because I use their books all the time. And they are also the company. Remember, I talked to you about these paper pads? Recollections is the company for the paper pads that I use. They are the company for the page fillers that I use. Remember, I talked about that last time. And so it didn't even occur to me that I use so many of their products. And in fact, I got into some of the stickers and realized that I use some of their materials for that. For my cover page, I'm going to be using these paper flowers, and that's by Recollections too. So I really didn't even realize that I had been doing that. I just know what materials I like. I know which materials are durable, that work well, that are easy to use. And Recollection seems to be my go-to company. And I didn't even realize that. I am about to do the cover page for my book. And as you can see, I did fill in the picture for the front cover of the book. And I usually try to choose something that is fun and grabs your interest right away. And this was a goofy photo that my husband and I took right outside of my 50th birthday location. And I thought that was a fun picture, so I put it in the cover so that when you pick up the book, it looks very interesting. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started on my cover page and share with you how I make that happen. Now, to start off, I have these photos that I'm going to mount that are circular. Now you can go out and buy a little gadget that'll cut photos in circles for you. Quite frankly, and this is just me, I was never successful with those things. I don't think I truly understood how to use them. So they just took too much time for me to try to figure out. So I did what we did in kindergarten when we had to cut out circles for colored paper when we were learning our colors. So how I do this is I take a cup, plain ordinary cup, and I take a photograph. And what I do is I line up my cup against the backdrop because I can see it through the light here. And I lay it down flat and I trace it with a pen on the back of the photo. I trace it with a pen. And then once I have the photo cut out, the circle on the back, I take scissors. Now, mind you, these are Fiskars. And this is another brand I use a lot. I have Fiskars scissors, and I have about, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 pair of them in all different style of cuts. And this is the one that I used for these two photos here. Excuse me. And as you can see, they have a nice decorative edging. And I have them, like I said, I have so many different kinds that I use, but that is a really cheap and easy way to cut your photos into circles because I just don't make the time to figure out how to use the little circle cutters. And quite frankly, if you can teach me how to do that, I am open to it. So in the meantime, I have an idea of the layout that I want to do for my cover page. And so what I did was I cut out 3 blocks of paper. So if you bear with me, this is the largest piece. It's a lavender sheet of paper. I already cut it out. And what I'm going to do, by the way, okay, this right here, I could not scrapbook without Scotch brand double stick tape. I don't know how anybody scrapbooks without this stuff. I can't even conceive of doing a book without this tape. It is so quick, so so easy. It doesn't damage your photos in any way, shape, or form. It just makes it so easy so that I can mount this paper quickly, and it just makes life so much simpler. And I use it for everything, from my edging to my decorative papers to my photographs. And so I'm using that tape, and I use just a small piece in each corner, as you can see. And as you can also see, this paper was on clearance. I'm trying to tell you, if you're going to buy papers for scrapbooking, you need to make sure that it is on sale. So with that said, I am mounting these 3 photos, and I'm going to tell you how frugal I am when it comes to scrapbooking materials. This piece of paper right here, this white piece that I'm mounting, is the generic photo that comes in the cover of your book. So where I put the picture of me and my husband kind of goofing off, this was the picture that was down in there. So I am now going to reverse that, and I am using it as a part of my decoration for my cover page. I use everything. I try not to waste anything because, as I have said many times, this stuff is expensive. And so I don't waste very much when it comes to materials. Now, a lot of times when I am scrapbooking, I'm just feeling my way to find out what makes sense to me as far as what should be mounted here. And what I do when I have something like this was the little card that came on the flowers, with the flowers that my husband bought me for my birthday, and I want to keep it. So what I do is I frame it out on a piece of paper that coordinates with the layout. So of course this layout is purple, and what I do is just create a little frame around the card, and I will mount it to the page like that. So that's what the card comes out looking like. Can you see that? Okay, so now I am just kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to lay everything out, because I have gorgeous photos and I want to take advantage of them as much as I possibly can. So this photo, I love this photo, but it has a lot of room all around the photo itself. So what I'm going to do is cut some of that out. Now again, Fiskars products is one of the products that I use and love. And this straight edge, oh my gosh, again, I could not make a scrapbook without this straight edge. And by the way, it expands so that when you're measuring sheets of paper, you can use the ruler at the top to determine how wide you want it to be, how long you want it to be. I could not scrapbook without this thing. In fact, I think I have 2 of them. So I make sure that I use them as often as I possibly can, because squares are typically what I do in my books, and I think really it's just a matter of preference. However, if you do circles occasionally, it adds interest to your layout. So for example, this particular layout, I'm going to have the circles and the squares. And as you can see, I cut out some of that, the sides and the top and the stuff that really isn't the focal point of the picture. So with that said, when I printed out the photos from that, I also printed out some of these stock photos that was used in a video that I created for my birthday. And I loved this little one that says 50 and fabulous. So I'm just going to trim it out so that there's white trim all around the photo, the photo. And it ends up looking like this, which will make perfect sense when you see it in the layout. So what I'm trying to do now is figure out on the page how exactly do I want this to look. So this kind of gets into the stickers. Now you can't do a scrapbook without stickers. So let's just admit that and be done with it. Mombi sticks, love them. And I love them because they are tall sheets. They have a lot of stickers on them that you can use all over the book. So I have 2 of those. Both of those are happy birthday stickers. Then I have some that are just kind of feisty. And Park Lane is really good for that. So I have some of those for this book. Now, Mombi also has these little pads of stickers to them. And usually they are words and kind of catchy little phrases. So I'm going to be using this. And then Sticko brand has these kinds of stickers that come in like three sheets front and back. And usually they have a border of some kind under here. And so I can tell you right now that with this layout that I'm doing, I'm going to need some of these borders, or at least one of these borders. I try not to overwhelm the page with a ton of stickers. So let me separate this and rip it apart so that I can get to the things. There we go. And I will be using some of these here. Okay. And the border, now mind you, I've laid out my blocks here. So this is what I'm looking at. Now, I am going to put I'm going to use the birthday one. So the birthday little border thing is what I'm going to use. It's a sticker. And I'm going to put it in here. Let's see. I think I'm going to line it like this. And the reason that I'm doing that is because the picture of me, the tall one, I think I'm going to lay that in this little white column because the white will frame it out very nicely and make it pop on the page. And so I'm going to lay that out. And then around that, I'm going to put, let's see what else I have here. I have another photo that I wanted to add, and I keep going back and forth about whether or not I'm going to place that here. So I kind of play around a little bit and see, what pictures work best where. And so just give me a second. I'm just trying to let my mind move this around. I think this is too big. So let me put this up here in the corner. Perfect. Now I have this little happy birthday card here. However, I don't think I'm going to use it because remember I have that happy birthday border here. So let me go ahead and mount the 50 and Fabulous here because I think that works well next to the photo that I've cut out into a square. So that's already here. And I'll add that. And let's see, what did I do? Here it is with the birthday card from my husband, the floral card. So I have that. And then I have this funky photo here of me, I don't know, just acting up with the cake. I was just so excited. It was an awesome day. So let me go ahead and mount these circular photos. And by the way, I used to use like glue sticks on my photos, and I decided not to do it. I stopped using it years ago because they can be messy and sometimes they roll up and they aren't as reliable as the tape. So I put the tape on everything. Paper, photos, circles, squares, doesn't matter to me. So I put them on everything. So this is the round photos that I'm mounting. And this is what it looks like so far. So you see, I'm mounting photos as we're speaking. And just to give you an idea of how I do this, so this photo, although it's taken on a diagonal, I'm treating it like it's a square. So when I cut it, I'm cutting it so that it fits the space, not necessarily because of the direction of the photo. That really doesn't matter to me. So here, I'm going to mount this square here. And I think I am good, except, let's see. All right, no, I think I'm okay. So I've got the happy birthday here, and I have the card. Give me a second. I'm just trying to work out my creative issues here. Yep. So I'll add that photo under here, and then I'll mount the card that came with the flowers down here. And what will make this really a wonderful page, now let me look, I have this little corner here that's open, and so let me flip through here and see some of these quotes. Remember I showed you the Mambi pad, so I'm going to scroll through here and just see if I can find something that looks good. There's a quote here that says it's a party. Let's see what else is in here. It's a party, and I like that first one. Today is all about you. May all your dreams come true. I think I'm going to use May all your dreams come true. So it's a little clear sticker that has words on it. So I'm going to just pop that right here, and I think I'm going to move it a little close to this end, because what I'm going to do is now decorate using some of these paper flowers. Now, these are fun, and I love them, but I try very hard not to get crazy with them because it is so easy to do that because they're absolutely beautiful. So let me grab a couple. So yeah, this might be nice for here. And I lay them out a little in advance just so that I can get a feel for what makes sense and what doesn't. And so I also try to mix and match the colors of purple so that it adds some interest. So let me just make sure that I have a good one. I don't think I want to use the ones that stand up. Some of the flowers they stand up. They're all 3D, but this one sticks out a little bit. And for my cover page, I don't know that I want that to happen because it'll make, when you turn the page over, it'll make the page bevel. So I think I'm going to stay with the flat flowers and make that work. So let me take another quick look. It comes with a lot of them. So the good news is I'll be able to double them up and make it work. And you have to be careful because there's a back side and a jeweled side. You want to make sure you stick with the jeweled side of the flower. So I'm kind of watching that as I go. So give me a second because I'm trying to make this work and just see what I'm dealing with here. So with that said, okay, another must-have is Zots. Now they make all different kinds of Zots. Most of them are flat. They come in different sizes. I personally love the 3D. The 3D Zots work best for me because I want to know that once I stick something down, it's going to stay and it's not going to slide all over the place. So what I do is I stick one of these Zots to the back of the flower and press the flower down onto the page. And once you do that, it is not going to move. You will have to physically rip this paper to get it off. And trust me, unfortunately, I had to do that a couple times, so I learned my lesson. So let me place a couple of these, and then I'm going to show you the finished product. So let me just put some of these down. And I always want to make sure that I am adding interest. So I'm down here I'm looking at these words here, and I kind of feel like it needs something else. So I have these other stickers. I have these more Sticko products, the confetti, which I love anytime you have a party theme. I also have these wonderful Paper House 3D stickers. And this is the wine theme. I'm going to be using these in this project. And I also have these jewels, which I also love. And again, It's by Recollections. So these are actually stickers. You can peel them off and stick them right to your page. So I'm going to show you how to use these as well. So I use a lot of different things to add interest to a page, because when you open up the book, you want it to grab folks' attention, you want it to draw some interest, and you want to make it fun too. So I try to make it a little fun. So here we go. I'm adding the last flower. Now I don't want to get crazy with it. I think this is good enough. And let me show you where I am so far. So this is the final product. So I've got the piece up here that talks about being 50 and fabulous. I have the square cut photo of myself. I've got the 2 round photos that I cut. I have the one that's on an angle, but it's a square, so if it's perfectly in there. I also have the card that came with my flowers, the text down here, the birthday text, and again, more flowers to add interest. Now, I started out with this clear block here. I added the purple polka dots. I added the white one, which as you can see frames the square photo nicely. And I have this little banner across here that says happy birthday. So there's lots of design elements here, but it adds interest. So when you open up the book, this is the cover page that you will see. And so I do leave a little bit of space, not much. I try to fill up the pages simply because it adds interest. And I also know that I have lots of cards, birthday cards, that I'm going to be adding to this book. So I'm going to share with you how I do that as well to preserve those. And so this will be my cover page. And, you know, there's no need for me to put my name on it. If I was giving it as a gift, then I would absolutely put the person's name on the cover page. But this is my personal album, and whoever sees this book knows that it's my book, so it's unnecessary for me to make space for that. However, I think what I will do is, yeah, see, there are some other stickers, birthday stickers that I have that I was going to use to put in this space here or this space here. But I think I'm going to leave it alone, because sometimes you just have to just leave it alone. Don't get crazy with it and put every sticker that you own on the page. Sometimes I catch myself and I have to just stop. So that's my cover page. This is what it looks like. Quick, easy, no problem. As you can see, I have 4 photos on this page plus an item of interest. I don't recommend that you add any more than 5 pages or 5 photos, or 6 if they're cut in circles or they're cut small, like this square here or this square here, only because you don't want to overload it. Now, I don't mind putting all these pictures on the same page because I'm in the exact same outfit and just different poses. So I don't mind putting a collection of photos on this page. So again, just some ideas for materials that you can purchase, a cover sheet layout that you can use. And so I'll get back to you as I'm a little further along to let you know some of the design styles and elements that I use to make my scrapbooks. So thank you very much for listening, and I will be back with you again soon.